Afternoon, everybody. How's it going? I just got back from getting a load of firewood and shooting a video. I wanna jump back into this p61 before I throw it on the bench, and then we're gonna get back to Buchan's saw. Needed not a break. I didn't need a break, but I'm like, I want to see what I can do with this thing quickly. It is running. It runs good. I want to go over it, make sure everything's tight. And I have to replace a section of the fuel line. It's leaking pretty good. Not sure why. I'm almost out of Tygon, so I'm going to run some different Tygon that it's kind of a harder stuff. Whatever, we'll run that for now. It's my saw, so I don't, it's not really a big deal to me. I want to see if I can replace one of the bolts in the recoil and just go over this thing. I did put a carb kit in it, and I want to cut this I want to cut this tape off the back and see what's underneath here. There's about a 1/4 inch of tape. I figure that this is probably broken. That seems to be common with these. And I just want to see what the deal is. I'd like to run this saw. This is a beauty. These are just awesome power saws. I'd like to put a pipe on this, and I'm not going to lie, friends, I want to port this saw. Down the road, when I get a chance, we'll throw it in the mix. But for right now, we're finishing Buchan's 266, which is on the shelf there, and Caleb and Taylor's 590 Echo. Probably in the next few days, I'm going to bar that up and I'll go fall a tree with it and run it, and let you guys know what I think of its stock. And then I think probably right in the field, I'll put the different coil on it and the bigger carburetor. We can see how that saw will cut with the go fast parts. Then we're going to time it, and we'll port that power saw, and I don't foresee any issues with that. We'll see where the exhaust roof is at. I have a feeling it's going to have a low exhaust roof, and see what the blowdown and intake timing is, and we'll give her a quick port job, and then off to Texas it goes. So yeah, and then we have 3 saws here from Buchan that he mailed us, I don't even know, month and a half, 2 months ago, and we'll jump into those. And probably when we're doing those, I might throw this into the mix. I also have a p61 Pioneer that I would like to see if I can get it running. I've had that saw for a year or two. I pulled it apart, and I've never run it. It's missing some parts. The carburetor and the muffler and the airbox is missing. It's got none of the stuff under here. It looks like I might be able to find those parts, but I have another idea of where I'd like to go with that. So yeah, I actually have quite a few saws that I would like to do some work to. The ProMac 800 that Ben Shelton sent us, I want to pull that down on video and see what parts we need. It's scored up pretty good. I want to see if the cylinder's salvageable. I know those top ends are unobtainium, but maybe if I search high and low, maybe I can find something. I also want to compare the Little Red Barn piston to the stock one, and see what the deal is with those. So anyhow, I'm going to bring you guys in close. I'm going to pull this thing down quickly. Let's put a new fuel line in it and torque all the nuts and bolts, and let's have a look at this handle. Other than that, I think this saw is runnable, and I would like to run this as soon as I get a chance. Okay, well, first thing I'm going to do, take the top cover off. This air filter is kind of questionable, but we'll work with what we got here. Pull this rubber cover off, which is stiff because it's, this thing's 40 years old, so I'm going to have to be careful. Okay, there we go. We got the rubber cover off. I'm going to throw all this into this bin. Okay, how you guys doing today? I feel pretty good. The weather's getting better. It was supposed to be hot and sunny today, and it's kind of cold and overcast and whatever. It's not where we want it to be yet, but we'll get there. Summer's coming. Just gotta wait patiently. It's pretty cold in the shop in the mornings when I get in here first thing in the morning to film. I almost want to make a fire, but the problem with that is when I make a fire in here, it gets too hot now. Now I end up opening the door by about noon. We could probably use a fire today, though. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little brisk out there. It's colder in here than it is outside, actually. Now, first thing on this saw. There we go. First thing on this saw is I noticed. Oh, I see. So this hole looks like it's almost bent. Like the threads. They're kind of, oh, they're on an angle. Okay, well, we'll see if we can fit another bolt in there. Here, I'm going to turn this thing up. I noticed fuel coming out of here somewhere when I ran this saw. It's not leaking anymore. I'll put her on its side. Let's see if we can make this thing leak. Now it doesn't want to leak, so... this fuel line's not terrible. It's kind of spongy. Again, it's a two-piece fuel line. There's a grommet with a nipple on each side. And I can actually stick my finger in here and grab the fuel line that's in here. It's fine. It feels good, actually. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this fuel line out. Okay, right from here. Here's the carb. Again, I'm trying to put this on video. This fuel line's not bad. It's starting to get a little soft, but I'm just going to replace it. Let me grab some of my fuel line. What I'm trying to do here, folks, is there's really no info about these on the internet, on YouTube. So, it's got some blue paint on here. I want to show you guys so that if you get one of these and you want to work on it and maybe you're not sure, maybe these videos will help you in some way. And that's the idea here. Man, this thing's got all kinds of compression. This decomp is definitely leaking. I think it's the same as a Mac decomp, and I happen to have a Mac decomp. So I think what I'm going to do is change this right now. We'll put that on the list. Anyhow, I'm going to grab some fuel line and replace this. Okay, I just grabbed some of this stuff. This stuff's kind of hard, but for this application, it'll work fine, I think. Okay, the problem is with this stuff, it's really hard to push over the nipple. Oh, there we go. Once you get it going, it starts to go and then it's fine. Just using what we got for right now. I usually buy my Tygon locally, and nobody's had it during this COVID thing, so it's actually been really, really tough to get parts. Whatever, I try not to sweat it. Running a YouTube channel sometimes can be a little tricky during COVID, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm just going to grab my pliers here. Okay, just trying to get this situated. Again, the sausage fingers do not fit in here. There's not many places the old sausage fingers fit. Okay, there you go. So we got a fuel line. Again, not Tygon, but close enough. It is fuel line, but it's for snowmobiles and stuff like that. Okay, let's take this decomp out. I gotta grab an appropriate wrench. Take this decomp out and let's replace it with one that may fit. We'll see if a Mac decomp fits in this thing. Okay, this is a Mac decomp. I don't know. We'll see. 7/16. So that was kind of loose. It looks like it's leaking through the center though. A lot of soot has built up. So rather than a leaky decomp's not a good deal. So could make the saw go kind of lean or lack power or idle funny. So we'll deal with this another day. Maybe I can get in there with a pick and I'll scrape some of this carbon out. See, it's just covered in carbon down here. Okay. And it looks like this is not going to work. No, so there you guys go. Mac decomp does not fit in here. Okay, well, we'll just clean this up. Oh, there you go. Let's see if you guys can see that. I'll turn the light on here. There you go. Can you guys see that? there's a ridge of carbon on the edge. I'm going to just shine this up with a wire brush. Okay, I got her all shined up, and we'll keep an eye on that. I would like to plug it, but this is one of them power saws. Maybe after it's ported, I actually use the decomp on this thing because this thing's angry. It's all of 100 cc's, and there we go. It was actually kind of loose. It feels better now. These will get a ridge of carbon, especially on these old saws, and they'll end up leaking. So just something to be aware of. Okay, so we got a new fuel line. This, I want to have a look at the sprocket. I don't even know what sprocket is on here. It looks kind of worn though, so take this off. Okay, let's pull this clutch off. Again, I do not use piston stops. Where is my... I don't use piston stops. I've had experiences with piston stops and damaging the top of a piston. I'll use a piece of rope and that'll do it. Now, I don't know if this is left-hand thread or right-hand thread. Hold on a second here, folks. Okay. Let's see. I just look for the piston at top dead center. Okay, I'm going to pack rope into here. There you guys go. Actually, I'm going to try and put you guys a little bit lower here. You have the capability. There we go. Take this rope, pack it into the port. I like this old school, it's like a canvas or a hemp rope that these old saws came with. This stuff is strong. I would usually rather run this stuff than the new stuff that you get. I'm gonna try right hand and see if it's right hand. We'll find out real quick. Okay, I tried that way and it looks like it's gonna be standard thread, so left hand, just like a normal nut. Yeah, there we go. Again, I'm being super careful with this power saw because these are rare and they're cool and you can't get parts for them. So I mean, I guess you could, if you have the time and the energy to search the internet all the time, but I just want to make sure this isn't a 404, being the era that this thing's from. 404 was common. I don't run 404 on anything. Okay, there we go. So 7-pin 404. I don't know if I'm going to have a sprocket like that, so I'm going to have to look. And this thing's starting to get damaged. Okay, well, I'll keep this for a rainy day, whatever. It's not as worn as I thought it was. Here's a brand new 3/8 7-pin, so the gearing will be the same. See the difference? 404 is a little bit bigger of a sprocket. But yeah, we'll set this up for 3/8, that way we can just run a standard bar on it. Put a little grease on here. Again, I'm just showing you guys what I do before I run a saw. A little grease, or a lot of grease, depending on how you look at it. Okay, put this back on here. Grab our 3/8 7-pin. I'm sure you could probably put an 8 on this thing, but clutch looks okay. Doesn't look like it's been hot. Let's clean this clutch up a little bit. This thing has a really, really small clutch. Oh, okay. There's a shim there, right here. Clutch is a little rusty on this. Yeah, I'm going to take care of that. That could have been... we don't want to overheat this clutch. Okay, you guys see that? She's pretty rusty. Hold on a second. Just like 80 grit sandpaper. Just clean her up. That stuff would have come off when I first run it, but why not just take care of it now? Okay, so we got our clutch, our rim, again with the new sprocket on it. This clutch is splined into place on the shaft. Let's pull this off. I always do that. Bearing first, then the sprocket. Okay, I'll slide that on there. It's going to fight us a little bit. That's fine. Okay. There we go. That's good. That bearing's a nice tight fit. Okay, spacer. Clutch is keyed to the shaft. Again, I'm going to put a little bit of grease. Gonna grab some grease here. I'm going to put a little bit more grease on this shaft. I don't want this to ever seize on there. Okay, wipe my fingers off. This thing has it's a heavy clutch, but it's small. Very similar to like a 266 Husky, that kind of thing. Okay, got our nut. That's a heavy duty setup with the clutch splined like that. This clutch means business. I kind of like how they did it with the old saws. Okay, take this. We want to make sure that's tight. Here we go. Okay, spin her backwards, take our rope out. Got a brand new spark plug in here. We'll put that back in. Now I'd like to pull the front of this muffler off. I like to pull the front of this muffler off and just see what do we got in there. I think he sent me a picture. I think he sent me a picture of the exhaust port on this saw before he mailed it. I can't remember. So let me grab the right tools here. So I already noticed this screw is loose. Okay, these aren't seized. These are nice saws. I mean, they seem to be very, very well built. Back when Canada actually built things, but I'm not going to get into that. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I swear he sent me a picture of the exhaust port on this power saw. But again, I can't remember. I want to see what we're starting with, and that way we know, right? There's a pair of geese. I don't know if you guys can hear them. There's a pair of geese that nest here every summer. They never have babies though, so I don't know if they do. They tried to have, they laid eggs by the pond, by our dugout one year, and I think the eggs got eaten. Lots of predators out here, so that's one thing you don't see here is goose babies. Okay, what do we got here? Oh yeah, this thing's clean. Wow. I'll get you guys a shot of that. Shiny, shiny. A little bit of carbon on the top. Whatever, we'll sorry, right here. When we take this thing apart, we'll clean it. A little bit of blow by, not too bad though. A little bit of carbon on the exhaust port. All in all, not too bad. I'm just going to have a quick look in here with my eyes. Just want to make sure the carbon, yeah, we're fine. This is quite the muffler contraption on this here machine. You guys see that? It goes into here, out through this spark arrestor, into this body, and then out this exit. Yeah, we can do better than that, I reckon. Okay, we still got the gasket on here. Okay, I'm just gonna fasten this all down. Okay, well, all in all, this is a beautiful, beautiful power saw. Can't believe one of you donated this to the channel. Thank you. Okay, so we got a good spark plug. Our exhaust port isn't full of carbon. Our piston's not scored. We have a 3/8 sprocket on here. We got a new fuel line. Our decomp is good to go. We checked the fuel line in the fuel tank. It's fine. The filter looks good. So I already know that this thing oils. So we have a power saw. I'm going to cut this off of here. I'll hit you guys back up and just show you what we got quickly. I'll throw this thing all back together. I think this thing should be good. I almost forgot. I just turned up this little fitting here. Okay. What was going on with this is let's see if this even fits. I think I got her. There was two washers on the back here, and what was actually going on, I might actually have to bore this out a little bit. What was actually going on is when you tighten the bolt down, yeah, there we go. When you tighten the bolt down, okay, it was bottoming out on the center of the recoil, and it was backing itself loose all the time. So hopefully, let's see if we got this just so. Hopefully, if I reef this down, it's going to stay. Now, oh, beauty. Okay, let's put a little Loctite on this. And this bolt will clean the threads up. Yeah, every third time I pulled this over, it was coming loose, and then it wasn't engaging with the starter dogs. I couldn't figure out what it was. Well, this thing was coming loose every time. A little Loctite, removable, of course, because you don't want to do that to the next guy, or you if you're the mechanic. That's never funny when someone puts a permanent Loctite on something and you're the guy that has to get it off. Okay. Oh, beauty. Okay. Put this back together here. Well, I think we have a viable power saw. We won't know. I'm not even going to spend too much time cleaning this thing up right now because, well, it's gonna get dirty again. This thing likes to fight me a little bit. There we go. And that fourth screw hole for the recoil, it's no good. It's on an angle. It's bent. So we'll be a 3-bolt recoil system. And I'm good with that. And you know what, friends? I think we're going to leave this tape on here for now. We can always fix that at a later date. This thing's solid, and I think we'll leave it how it is. This piece here, I'll raise you guys up. I wasn't actually sure what I was dealing with. This piece here actually snugly goes around that inlet. So there you go, and then slide it forward. See that? And it goes flush. Again, this air filter doohickey top cover. This thing's actually not too bad to work on. Now, I haven't torn it down yet, so okay, we're good. Put a little splash of fuel in her and we'll call this thing ready to rock and roll. Well, friends, this goes through into the fuel tank and it's leaking bad. I haven't decided what I'm going to do. To be continued. Okay friends, it's like 15 minutes later. What I actually ended up doing is, well, I ended up spilling all the bar oil out, because when you put the saw on its side, you need to put the bar oil cap on. Pro tip of the day. Oh. See, we're having some slight recoil issues on this saw. Basically though, what I did was, I put some seal all on this thread, on the one bolt that goes into the fuel tank, and I threaded it in there, and it does not seem to be leaking. So this recoil has been giving me lots of troubles. Let's see. Yeah, she's bound up again. I don't know what the deal is. I think the starter pawls are a little bit worn. There we go. Well, let's... This is going to be one of those recoils that I'll have to get it just right, and then when I do, I'm just going to leave it to dry for now. The epoxy I put in there. If not, if that doesn't work, we will have to drill and tap this. There we go. Yeah, see, so when I cinch this side down, it's binding. Interesting. Never did it. There we go. So, yeah, I have a feeling this top bolt is putting a little too much pressure. Weird. Okay, well, we're probably going to have to file the engagement for the recoil. Let's see if this thing starts now, and we'll call it good for today. I'll reinvestigate the fuel leak and the recoil at a later date. Just wanted to show you guys what the deal is with this saw. Okay, full choke. Just about to give up. Okay, right on. Well, I was just showing you guys it oils. This thing runs good. I'm anxious to put this thing in some wood. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute animal. Like I said before, probably too much saw for me, but I should actually angle you up here. There you guys go. Probably too much saw for me, but them are the brakes. The problem is with this recoil is I can't actually diagnose what the problem is. Oh, I see. Okay. So for whatever reason, the dogs, let's see, I don't think we'll be able to get the picture. So your dogs go in like this and grab that center with the slots in it. Well, what's actually happening when you tighten down the recoil, it's over traveling and it's binding up on the starter dogs. So I'm going to take a file probably and carefully, yeah, I can see it now, carefully reprofile the starter dogs. I see what's going on here now. Actually, I'm going to reprofile the center where it engages, just file a little bit off the back. But we're going to let this dry, let the epoxy dry. It should be fine. I don't think it's going to leak. It might leak a little bit through this hole, but again, she's an old power saw. If we tip her on this side and she leaks a little, we know what the deal is. This thing runs good. It's a little rich. Ooh. Another thing I want to do, I have to build a bracket for the idle screw. I'm going to build a little bracket that'll hit this right right there. Whatever, little at a time, we'll get this thing going. Yeah, we're fine. She definitely oils, so tentatively this thing's ready to go in the wood. We do have a few little things to deal with, but all in all, this thing's a beauty. And she's mint too. Where's my starter cover, friends? You guys know what I did with that? There's these. Right here. Double plates. How do you lose a giant starter cover? Oh, here it is. Can you tell it's at the end of the day? I can. Okay, well, there you guys go. Pioneer P61, monster of a power saw. I hear that these things are a good saw. Don't know how it'll stack up against the old 394. I bet you this thing will cut circles around my 394. Because it is a reed saw, it's got a little bit of a displacement advantage, etc. Okay, anyhow, thanks for watching. Take her easy. Sorry we kind of bumbled through this one, but that's old saws. Oh, this thing's super cool. Later.